follow up my welcome, and I'll keep on coming in between. We have a long program here, so let's move on. The first thing we'll do is a typical ritual which we Gandhi Foundation always does on October 2, and that is garlanding and bouqueting and paying our homage and tribute to Gandhiji. So I would request the start from our Constitutional Strategy. Please, and Anthony and some ladies there, please. Lizzie, Razana, please help. Thank you. Thank you, Constable. Appreciate that. I would now request Chairman Rob Pitts, a great friend of our community and a frequent visitor to India. And see, he automatically took his shoes off, so there we go. He loves Rosagolas from Calcutta. Thank you. I request Honorable Faruqi, what an honor to have you here, and especially you are at the most hallowed grounds of which you are in charge. This district, District 2, Councilman Amir Faruqi. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. And here is a real surprise element for all of us, and we'll be very proud of that fact. It is Honorable S.M. Khan, all the way from India. He was closely associated with President Abdul Kalam, has written a few books, and he was Doordarshan General, Director General. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for being here. And he is with his family in Atlanta. Thank you. I request the friend of our Gandhi Foundation, that's Director Dr. Hilda Compton. Now you have a choice of putting a bouquet or a garland. So you want a bouquet. All right. So if somebody can. There are lots of more tributes that are going to take place, but I am under a little time pressure for letting our Honorable Chairman Rob Pitts meet his next schedule. So, yeah, we will continue with our tributes, but let us. Where is Emily? Emily, I want to thank you for being patient with us and working around our schedule. I know we have given you a couple of different times, but it worked out, and thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Let me quickly introduce, he needs no introduction. Yeah. I know him for so many years, associated with the City of Atlanta, and he was a city council president. But right now, he's heading probably Georgia's largest county, Fulton, North and South. He's the chairman of Board of Commissioners. So it is really, we're proud of you, and congratulations one more time. You got elected twice, so that was, and I was for your victory party. You celebrated well. Thank you for being. He travels to India quite often, and one of the best things about him, he's a Democrat and Republican garb. In the sense, he's an advocate for tax cuts, and he is a strong advocate for diversification in revenue sources to relieve tax burden on property taxes. So that is one of the best things one can have. Fulton tax is a very high property tax, Fulton. So we help you there. We appreciate your help. All right, a businessman, a graduate from Emory with an MBA. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming him.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today. Given the temperature, I'm going to be very, very brief in my remarks. I'm pleased and honored to have the pleasure of greeting you on behalf of the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County, but more importantly, on behalf of the 1 million people that we represent. I think it's fitting today in that we celebrate 150 years and 20 years here. I happen to have been here 20 years ago when we dedicated this. So it's a real pleasure and an honor for me to be here again with you today. As was stated, I spent a lot of time in India. In fact, I didn't know this morning, but this suit was made in India. So I was just telling Consul General that, and that we plan to spend some time together. I was very close to her predecessor and look forward to spending more time with her and getting to know her. But with respect to this occasion, who would have thought, and I'm sure he didn't, that many, many, many years ago, a little boy of color in India and a little boy of color in the United States of America, not far from where we are today, their lives would be intertwined forever. Although they were separated by many, many miles, India, United States of America, chronological years, but the influence that Mahatma Gandhi had on Martin Luther King Jr. will forever be told by generations to come, because but for that influence, I shudder to think of the kind of world that we would be living in today. It would certainly be a world of much more violence. But the answer was, and still is, based upon the teachings of Gandhi, which Martin Luther King Jr. accepted and practiced. We are able to live, for the most part, in peace and harmony. Both were assassinated. That's a sad chapter in the history of the world. But the fact is, what he taught and what he lived and what he preached was passed on to Martin Luther King Jr. And as a result of that, we are able to live in a world today of much more peace and harmony. That being said, we still have a ways to go, but the foundation was laid from a little boy of color in India that was passed on to a little boy of color here in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County, and the state of Georgia. Thank you very much.
This is a real surprise. Nobody knows about this. And I request Hilda, if you can come here for a second. I will be failing in my duty if I don't recognize one person here, and that is from the consulate, Vikas. He has worked umpteen number of hours, and my wife says if he can deal with you, he's the greatest. So I thank you so much, and it is as a token of our appreciation, we request you to come up here and accept a certificate from Bernice King.
Aww.
And please come on, and you need to do the presentation. Can you take some pictures for this? Please come in the middle.
One second.
Thank you.
It was my duty to work with you.
No, it is a pleasure. But
It is a very, I am very
Sorry,
happy to work.
sorry.
thank you very much. Yeah. Sir, if you just be seated, and I'll request Greg Pridgeon Greg Pridgeon is the vice chair of our Gandhi Foundation. I thought Lou Rawls had the best voice, but I think he beats him. Come on, Greg.
Thank you and good morning. I'm honored to be here today. To the Honorable Rob Pitts, former Atlanta City Council member, City Council President, and now Chair of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, to the Honorable Amir Faruqi, brand new city council member whom you could learn a lot from, sitting at Commission Chairman Pitt's knee to hear a few things about governance. To all of the members of the Gandhi Foundation and friends, and especially to our new Consul General. I've had the pleasure of serving as a political and as a public official with the City of Atlanta through from Maynard Jackson's term as his first term as mayor through Mayor Shirley Franklin's term. And I am very fond of and close to this community. So I'm fortunate that my brother from another mother, Subhash Razdan, and the members of the Gandhi Foundation asked that I introduce our Consul General. Today we have the Consul General of India, Dr. Swati Kulkarni, who is a career diplomat and holds a medical degree from India. She joined the Indian Foreign Services in 1995 and since then has exemplified herself as a regional passport officer in Mumbai, Consul General of India to Cape Town, South Africa, Deputy Head of Mission in Muscat, Oman, and a myriad of other diplomatic assignments in the Ministry of External Affairs in India. She is a powerhouse. We are very fortunate to have her, and we hope that as long as you're in Atlanta, you know that you have friends all over this city and all over this county. So thank you very much, and ready for her? So, Consul General, would you please join us here at the podium? I had the pleasure of meeting with her at the consulate. She's a quiet force. She is a quiet force.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. I'm really delighted to have such a wonderful Indian community here who works so hard, including Gandhi Foundation, the King's Center, and such a harmony that exists between all of you. Mr. Razdan, that credit goes to you, and we have already given him Pravasi Bharatiya Samman. So India has already honored him, and I'm happy that you are recognizing the work done by our young colleagues that will motivate them. So, Honorable Mr. Rob Pitt, Mr. Farooqi, my colleagues in Indian Consulate, and all the dignitaries from Gandhi Foundation King Center. I'm really delighted here and commence my work as a Consul General with this function where Gandhi will bless us. Because Mahatma Gandhi, as you know, he is very important icon of India. Not only for India but beyond. The way Honorable Rob Pitt has said that a boy from color from India and boy of color from USA, separated by so many miles. And of course we had a bridge there in South Africa, Mr. Nelson Mandela, who was also there. So all these icons, they have given us some operational techniques which we call the technique of non-violence and ahimsa, because they were the symbol of human dignity, hope and courage for everybody. Nelson Mandela fought for anti-apartheid. Mr. Martin Luther King, he fought for American blacks. So this is how the techniques were perfected. And as you know what, when I was in South Africa, they used to tell, India has given us Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but South Africa gave, their value was added to it, and we gave them Mahatma to the world. It was there he perfected his techniques, because there were some series of events through which he gone, that he was thrown out of the all whites train and other things which molded him and made him what he became later. In fact, you will be happy, many people don't know that as a child he was a very ordinary child. Nothing was extraordinary. What extraordinary was there was his shyness. Yeah, he also got 34 out of 100 in maths paper. So he was an ordinary child, but something extraordinary was surely latent in him that made him later as such a great leader for the humanity. Such people, they never die because they live in their achievements. Their contribution cannot be weighed on 1, 2, 3, 4 or some material scale. Nor do they are restricted to some generation or country. Their legacy remains. So rededicate ourselves to learn from them and how to make our better world. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni, and welcome, formal welcome. I do realize Chairman Pitts has to leave. Can we take a couple of pictures together with him? Please join for